I'm not teaching, I'm publicly learning. But hi and welcome to Learning for the Life in the UK test part 614, while you're doing leg stretching. And if you participate in a leg stretching, let's sit down. We're having both legs in front and the toes together, and now we're putting the toes in, and you're going to do it also like that. We have prepared a video about the House of Commons and our presentation. And that presentation, do we want to record now on the second camera? Okay, the structure. We want to say that the House of Commons, there are the voted politicians. The House of Commons, they are the members of, they are the politicians, they are called members of parliament, in who the people of the United Kingdom have voted for. The United Kingdom has a lot of constituencies. Okay, maybe we just can start with the constituency when we explain the voting. They are there, they are prepared to represent the constituency, to help to create new laws. We're also debating there. And then is the House of Lords, and the House of Lords checks that the laws passed there make sense. The people in the House of Lords, they have had careers in different professions. I'm going to the next exercise. We're having now we're putting one leg in House of Lords, and then we're going to the history, and we're going to say that when was it even? After the Glorious Revolution, so in the past, or it would be in the 17th century, 17th, 18th century, where the voting right was different. Many people could not vote, and there were various constituencies, only if they had a lot of money, and there were then pocket boroughs, and where just a few people of one family could vote. Urban boroughs, almost no one. But then it all changed, 1832, 1867, the people didn't have to have much money anymore to vote, and then also 1918 and 1928 women got the right to vote. Now all these people are voting for one other person who can also be voted for, no matter who or what they have, who it is or what they have, and now we changed the leg, and now we're voting for that. We had one other thing. No, then we forgot it. Maybe forgot it. Okay, we could do it now. But we're doing next. We're going to the next exercise, the cart racer. 1990 with the legs, hands at the knee behind of us, and we're leaning in front with a shoulder to the knee in front of us. They're called in peace. The other one's peers. I don't want to do a video where we're doing the cart race, so I'm basically waiting, and I don't know if I want to start the next video, the next talking here, as long as we are basically ready to do the other video. What do we do then? When we're going to do the House of Lords, about which we're not talking right now. Next thing is in the media. What did we have here? Who can vote? The electoral register. Where to vote? We're gonna do maybe one video about it all. Not so much in specific, but one video completely. The public can listen to debates in the Palace of Westminster from public galleries in both the House of Commons and the House of Lords. You can write to your local MP in advance to ask for tickets, or you can queue on the day at the public entrance. Now we're going to the next exercise. To the other side. And we're just coming from. Let's just read on. Local government. Can we do a video to the local government? Towns, cities and rural areas in the UK are governed by democratically elected councils, often called local authorities. Some areas have both district and county councils, which have different functions. Most large towns and cities have a single local authority. Local authorities provide a range of services in their area. They are funded by money from central government and by local taxes. Many local authorities appoint a mayor who is the ceremonial leader of a council. In some towns, a mayor is elected to be the effective leader of the administration. London has 33 local authorities, with the Greater London Authority and the Mayor of London coordinating policies across the capital. For most local authorities, local elections for councillor are held in May every year. Many candidates stand for council election as member of a political party. We can't do a video about it. Information is not clear enough. System of government. I had the idea maybe to do one video completely about the system of government. The problem is I don't really know what the government is. The system of government in the UK is a parliamentary democracy. The UK is divided into parliamentary constituencies. So far so clear. And the next exercise, just 1990 with the next thing we're going to front. Voters in each constituency elect their member of parliament in a general election. All of the elected MPs from the House of Commons. Most MPs belong to a political party, and the party with the majority of MPs forms the government. If one party does not get a majority, two parties can join together to form a coalition. What was it here? Most MPs belong to a political party, and the party with the majority of MPs forms the government. The government is the Prime Minister and the Cabinet. Do we have it right? Here is that one section. It is called the government. Or government. And then we have written the Prime Minister and then the Cabinet. And we're going on with the opposition and the party system. So it makes sense that the government is the Prime Minister and the Cabinet. And they having the opposition opposing them. And that all is mostly done in the party system. The government is the Prime Minister and the Cabinet. Okay, House of Commons. We're going into the pigeon pose. Do this only if you already know how to do the pigeon pose. And I try to record now on the second camera there what we have about the House of Commons. The House of Commons. In the House of Commons are all the politicians who are called members of parliament, and they are voted for in the constituencies. In the United Kingdom there are a lot of areas, and these are called constituencies. There are a lot of constituencies all over the whole country. And in all these constituencies, the people are all voting for one person and that person who the most people have voted for becomes a member of parliament and represents that one constituency in the House of Commons. So the people of a constituency, a small area in Britain, they are voting, and the person in the constituency who got the most votes represents them in the House of Commons. And in the House of Commons there have been all these members of parliament then. The Parliament of Britain has two chambers, the House of Commons and the House of Lords. And in the House of Commons there are these politicians, and in the House of Lords there are then peers. And the peers are people from members of Parliament of the House of Commons. So from time to time the leader of a political party advises the monarch to appoint that or that person to become a peer in the House of Lords. And now we're working together. The one people, they are creating a new law, the people of the House of Lords. They are oftentimes from lawmaking or from business. They had careers in these professions. And now we're creating a new law. And when the people in the House of Commons, the politicians, the members of Parliament representing the constituency, are discussing them. They are debating about that. And then the other ones of the House of Lords looks if that law makes sense. But the House of Commons can overrule the House of Lords. Now, how did it all start? There was, after the Glorious Revolution in the 17th century, a different form of democracy, not the democracy as it is today. Many less people could vote. Only men could vote, and only if they had a lot of money or property. And that had the case, that made it then that there were constituencies, so areas in Britain, where basically only a few people could vote. Only one rich family could vote. And these were called, then, the ones were called rotten boroughs, and the ones pocket boroughs. So pocket boroughs were ones where only a few people could vote, but there were even worse ones, rotten boroughs, and where almost no one could vote, because in the whole area, in the whole Britain, in the constituencies, no one had enough money or property to vote. Then there was the reform in 1832, another one in 1867, and then more people could vote, and they didn't have to have that much money anymore. And then also in 1918, 1928, women got the right to vote, and today, everyone in the United Kingdom over the age of 18 basically can vote. and also be voted for. So in all these constituencies in Britain, all these areas, where the people voting for another person, and everyone can also be voted for. And now that person becomes a member of parliament and comes into the House of Commons. And the House of Commons, they are now debating and representing their constituencies, talking about new laws, getting new laws proposed by the House of Lords, and we're talking about it, and the House of Lords looks if it makes sense, and then it goes back and forth. And that way, the politics is made with the House of Commons and the House of Lords in the United Kingdom. And that is according to the Life in UK Test Handbook, page 110 and 111. It was not the most straightforward, but I think it was okay. I'm going to stop the camera. And we are doing now stitching on the other side. First 1990. And we're going in front. We can't do the House of Lords video right now, but we are pretty good with the media video. Let's try to do that in the last few minutes. What happens as politics in the parliament is broadcasted on television, and the official report is called Hansard. People can find these reports in large libraries or at parliament.uk, but for most people actually get the information from television, radio, internet, or the newspapers, and the newspapers is called the press. And since 1695, newspapers in the United Kingdom, the press, don't need to have any more a government license, so we can just publish. And because there is a free press, maybe we shouldn't formulate it that way, and there's a free press, and that means that everyone can just write what we want, basically. Increased numbers of, there was an important development of free newspapers, okay, nothing here. And everyone can write, and there are now some people who try to bring their own political beliefs and opinions to other people. By law, radio and television coverage of political parties must be balanced. Maybe you can say, but what would we say? Law, radio and television coverage has to be balanced and to give also the right viewpoints the equal amount of time. Okay, let's try it into the pigeon pose. And again, if you do the pigeon pose, do it only if you already know how to do it. And I try to record now again about the media of the government. How do we call it? The media reporting of the government in the United Kingdom. In the United Kingdom, there is what happens in the parliament broadcasted on television. And there is an official report, and that official report of what happens with the politicians in the parliament is called Hansard. And reports can be found in large libraries and at parliament.uk. And since 1695, newspapers don't have to have any more a government license. That means basically everyone can publish newspapers. And that means also that there's free press. In the United Kingdom, there's free press. And that means that people can publish what they want. And there are also some people who try to bring their ideas to other people and influence them in their political beliefs in the newspapers. So in the United Kingdom, there's free press. And since 1695, they don't have to have any more a government license to publish. And the official report is called Hansard of what happens in the parliament. And it's also broadcasted. And the reports can be found at parliament.uk or in large libraries. And another thing, television, radio, and something else, they have to, let's do it again, it doesn't really make sense. Oh, no. No, it was not the third one, it's just a law thing. By law, radio and television. And it's just by law, radio and television coverage. And I wanted to make that a bit more clear with press, television, radio, and internet. Here was internet, another one. But you don't have time to do it anymore. Maybe if we do it straightforward in 60 seconds. But okay, in the next video, what will it do when the House of Lords? House of Lords. In the House of Commons, there are the people in, the Prime Minister appoints the people of his party, and the other one the ones of his party. And when the monarch appoints them to become life peers, They are in the House of Lords, very oftentimes from business, politics, and law. And we're looking at the laws which the House of Commons have said should be done are fit for purpose. It also holds the government to account to make sure that it is working in the best interests of the people. Let's exercise. Just the butterfly stretch, the sounds of the feet together. We're sitting tall up, and in the next video we're going to do the media again, and then we're working on our video for the House of Lords. I thank you very much, and until next time.